and then resist. Resist means that there has to be a physical and verbal opposition to something. I said a physical and verbal opposition. You can't resist something if you don't do or say nothing.
All right.
It has to be a physical or verbal opposition to the devil. Luke chapter 4. The Bible said Jesus was in the wilderness doing battle with the devil. And he resisted him.
Yes.
And he didn't resist him with quit. Stop, let me alone. He said, it
It's
is
written.
written. Every time he attacked them, didn't he? It is written. Get thee. He resisted it, didn't he? He didn't have to punch back and say, who you think you are? He just resisted it. All God said is we need to submit to him, resist it, and the devil will flee.
Yeah.
Now, it's not my responsibility who he flee to when he leave me.
Amen.
I'm sorry, Marcus. If he tried to pick on you, after I got rid of him from me, I didn't send him there. He must have saw something.
Yeah.
I said he must have saw something. Let's go get him. He don't pray. Don't never see him watching no Christian station. And his Bible never open up at home. Don't you know the devil is a spirit? And he doesn't need doors to get in either.
Amen.
Now the Bible taught us that the Spirit of the Lord don't need doors to get in either, do it? The devil's a spirit too. The Bible describes him as the spirit of error. And then the Lord, the spirit of truth. That's what the Bible says. There's two spirits, the spirit of error and the spirit of truth. He's a spirit, so he don't need a door to get in. So he can sit at your couch with you, watching you. Since he's not omniscient, since the devil don't know everything, he has to observe. And since he can't be everywhere at the same time, he has to appoint one of the third of the angels that he brought with him, and summons them. You go watch your Marcus. Shoot, I don't have enough of y'all to go around, so I gotta pick who I'm gonna send them. Jesus can be everywhere, but he gonna say, let me see. No, he trying to pray and preach, and I don't waste no energy on him. Oh, here one. Go see him, and y'all come back and talk to me. Oh, I found a good one. What? Marcus Selder, or whatever his name is. He don't do nothing. Oh, we can get him good, can't we? Well, let me put 3 more y'all. Y'all go get that book. The Bible said that when the demons was purged out of this man, that they left him walking, seeing whom they can. And just so happened that he must have been in a pretty good little area, them demons, because they couldn't really find nobody. So they said, well, I'll tell you what, let's go and see if he done anything with that purging. And he come to him and find out that brother ain't done. He had 6 demons in it. 7 demons. 4, 5 demons. Eating them alive. He had a demon of cussing. And he probably did that 80, 90 words every 2 hours. I'm not looking at you, Bob. I thought you thought I was looking at you. He probably had a spirit of hatred, a spirit of backbiting, and then the Lord purged all that out of him. And then when you start adding up how much time he used cussing, how much time he used hating on folk, and how much time he used with all this other stuff, and then he didn't replace that with nothing of God.
Yeah.
He got all this, he don't cuss no more, but he ain't doing nothing for God with that time that he was cussing with. So they came back and find him clean, garnished, but empty. And the Bible said, hey guys, I saw y'all roaming too. Can't find nobody? Come on. We found somebody that not only we can go back in, but he got some more space. Bible said in the state of that man, were worse than the beginning. So we have to learn to be light. And what I'm saying about being light is let your light so shine. That means we have to let the goodness of God illuminate out of us. And here's the biggest thing. I'm going to get you, Reverend. Here's the biggest thing in the church today. It's just that you ain't talking about nobody. You think, but you ain't stopping nobody from talking about folk to you. But I didn't say nothing, but then you agreed. You didn't resist, then you agreed.
Right.
Ed ain't really no preacher, and he just sitting and listening to me. So obviously I gotta believe he don't object. He didn't object. And he think he's something, don't he? And he's still looking. So obviously he agrees. And so then I come today and I say, yeah, me and Marcus was talking about Ed the other day, and we both agreed that he ain't nothing. Marcus don't agree with that because he didn't say nothing. That's what you did. You didn't say nothing. No, brother, I can't agree with you about that with Ed. My spirit agrees that he is a man of God, so I don't know where you're coming with that, but well, I understand it, but I'm just saying I'm not with that. Now, you're going to get talked about to him by somebody, so what? Yeah. We have to learn to do this. Bloom where you're planted, okay? Okay, now look at bottom of 11. I'm going to hit you with that because we did a whole lot of this to good. In this parable, there are actually two sowers. After the good seed, oh man, they got a lot of preachers up there, and man, they're preaching, and man, and it wasn't about it. It's where God's sending you to wherever he wants you to be, not me choosing myself. And so we have to find out. The good seed, back on top of page 12 of the paragraph, it said, we are not to live in some mercenary or exclusive Christian community as attractive as something as sound. What do the tares represent? Matthew 13:38c say the tares are the children of the wicked one. The word tare or weeds translate to a word that means, and Darnell was here when I said that, darnel. Since it closely resembles wheat in the earlier stages of growth, darnel is almost impossible to distinguish from wheat until fully grown. So what is God saying by letting the tare and the wheat grow together? Talking about us. He represented us as the children of obedience and them as the children of disobedience. What is he telling us about each other? That I cannot look at Ron and tell if Ron is tare or wheat. So I don't have the charge to separate nobody from the church.
Right.
Amen. Because I can't, and literally farmers will affirm this, that when it comes to wheat and tare, you have to have a keen eye to know the difference. And it's in the latter stage that you can even tell the difference. In the beginning, they look exactly alike. So we are not authorized to separate nobody from the church. But we do that. St. John chapter 16, verse 2 and 3. Read those for me. St. John chapter 6, gun or slash him with the knife. When you diminish a person's light, when you belittle their ambition, you're killing people. Oh, come on now. You're killing the spirit and the drive and the unction of people's lives when we're bringing all this negativity upon them. He said and when they do this, these folk in church thinking they serving God because they running you out of church. What are you doing in here with that short dress on? You little hussy. They need Jesus. They really think they serving Jesus. Oh, come on now.
Yep.
They really think they serving, I'm doing the Lord's will. He doesn't want these kind of people in his church. Listen to me, y'all. Read on, verse 3. Oh, Jesus. No God. But they think they're serving them. It's the truth.
Yeah, it's the truth.
Folk running through the church trying to tell you who ain't living godly. Ain't no man with gray hair across his face say he a man of God. And they think they doing God's will. You should be clean shaven and looking like a young man coming in church. Button up that top button in your shirt. Coming in here looking like something. Yeah, They do this. They think they're doing horrifying stuff. But the Bible, Jesus said, they do these things because they don't know me, nor my daddy. Don't know my daddy. That's why they do these things. And then when you go to John chapter 8, come on, go there. John chapter 8, 20 verse 42. John chapter 8, verse 42. Jesus said unto them, if God were your Father, ye would what?
Love me.
For I proceeded forth and came from God. Neither came I of myself, but he sent me. If God was your Father, you would understand God, right? Look what it goes on to say. Then why don't you understand my speech? Why don't you understand? And obviously, you don't understand. Why I say you don't understand? Because you can't do something if you don't understand what to do. That's true, right?
Yeah.
Don't change that motive. Well, I don't understand how to do it, so you never get it done. So Jesus said, obviously, you don't understand me because you're not doing what I said do. Isn't that right? Why don't you understand my speech? Is what he said, didn't he? Look at that. He said, even because you what? Cannot hear my words. He's not talking about you're not able to audibly hear. It's talking about, mother, you won't listen. See, if I don't want to hear what Ed is saying, I can either leave the room or stay in the room and cover my ears. So since we're not going to leave the sanctuary, Larry, I just tune you out.
Yeah.
And we good enough to where we can look at you and smile and I ain't paying attention to nothing you say. I'm thinking about getting on my vote after church and I ain't trying to hear nothing. Shut them down. We ain't hearing nothing you say. Y'all got him in y'all church. Some folk only want to hear Reed. They don't want to hear Crawford. All them other boys talk, they talk. I'm trying to hear them. You will not hear my words, right? And 44, what did he say?
Father, the devil.
And what did he say? And the lust of your father you will do. He said he was what?
Murderer.
From what?
From the beginning.
Uh-oh. Can anybody tell me, you know when he said he was a murderer, he's talking about Satan, right?
Right.
How was Satan a murderer from the beginning? Anybody know?
We lied to Eve.
Reverend Robinson, huh?
We lied to Eve.
You're in the house. You're in the house. You're in the house. So he lied to Eve, and so what happened to Eve?
She convinced Adam to bite the apple.
And when Adam bit the what?
Bit the fruit.
In the beginning.
That's right.
Y'all got it, right? He was a murderer from the beginning. Because in the very beginning of Adam and Eve, he killed their spirit and deemed them to death, didn't he? Because when they sinned, death passed upon. He was a murderer from the beginning. That's what he's telling us. That from the beginning, he started out killing. And John 10:10, Jesus said, the thief cometh not but to steal. He was a murderer from the beginning. And I'm telling y'all, did he stab Eve with a knife?
No.
Did he choke her?
No.
Did he give her something poison?
No.
What did he do? He spoke some words that caused her death.
Adam stood next to her.
Spoke some words. You just like your no good daddy. We don't realize we're killing our children. Bless you. We're killing them. We're robbing them of their ambition. And if I'm like my daddy and he's in jail, I guess I'm supposed to be in jail too. And we wonder why he went to jail. Are you hearing me? We're killing people with this. The Bible said that the tongue. Yeah, so I'm telling you, you don't have to stab or shoot nobody to kill him in church. All this stuff we're doing in churches, we're a murderer. And why you killing folk? Why are you doing that in church? Go back and read 44 at the beginning. The reason you're doing it is because of what? Oh, you don't want to believe that, though, Reverend.